Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're starting this video off with a bit of a language lesson, and the word that we're looking to explore is oxymoron. Oxymoron. An oxymoron is a word or a term that has inherent contradictions in it. So you leave the oxy to one side and we go with the moron. As guys, I bring you this: be prepared for denial of your rights. President Buhari tells Nigerians on Independence Day. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've now heard it from the horse's mouth. Again, be prepared for denial of your rights. President Buhari tells Nigerians on Independence Day. So now let's now hear the man preach to the converted. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has asked citizens to be prepared for the denial of their rights if they choose to bargain off their power. He made the comments during his televised broadcast to commemorate Nigeria's 60th independence anniversary on Thursday. He said, "The problem with our electoral process are mainly human-induced, as desperate desire for power leads to desperate attempts to gain power and office." So we must pause there for a moment, as we often do in these videos that we do. We must pause there because we must call out BS. So that is BS right there. So listen to what this guy is saying. He says the problem with our electoral process are mainly human induced. There's absolutely no disputing that, and we cannot contend with that. The problem with the electoral process in Nigeria is entirely human induced, because Nigeria has one of the best planned countries on the planet. On paper, if you look at the structure and the planning of Nigeria, it is better than the structures and planning of the United Kingdom, the United States, etc. But from the moment that pen dropped from that planning, that was when it fell apart. Of course, it is human induced, and one of the people who induce it the most is Mallam Buhari. So he says, mainly human induced, as desperate desire for power leads to desperate attempts to gain power and office. So here is a man now standing in front of a mirror speaking to the person that is seen in there, because of course these words describe this guy in its entirety. This is a man that lost an election in 2015, but out of bullying, they bullied Goodluck Jonathan out of office, because of course Goodluck Jonathan rather knew that they were heavily armed, and if he decides to force his way through, they will burn the country down. So he yielded out of, I think, cowardice on his behalf, because Buhari would never have yielded. So he wasn't voted in 2015, but he was foisted. We saw in Kano State, children as young as 7 were thumb printing in an election in Kano State in 2015, and again in 2019. So we saw that, and then again in 2019, this guy just sat in his office and wrote out results and told Nigerians that he will continue to be their president, and that was the end of it. So he is entirely right, of course, in what he says, that the problems of our electoral process are mainly human-induced, as desperate desires for power lead to desperate attempts to gain power and office. But then, as I said, speaking to a man in the mirror, democracy the world over, and as I have been pursuing in Nigeria, so we have to pause it there again. Democracy the world over, yes, that doesn't really, but as I am pursuing in Nigeria, so this guy is not pursuing anything. Definitely he's not a democratically elected anything, and he's not a Democrat as well, because you have to remember that this guy came into prominence via coup plotting, which is a treasonable crime against the Nigerian state. So that's an act of treason, the coup that he planned and executed. So that's the one bit. So for him then, so what did he say again? He says he's pursuing democracy in Nigeria. So he's not in any place to pursue anything in Nigeria. There should be institutions, and those institutions should stand independently to safeguard democracy in Nigeria, because democracy in Nigeria, this Fourth Republic, started in 1999, long before Buhari even knew what the interiors of Aso Rock looks like. So it's not as though the country just started in 2015 and is now building a country from scratch with this no school start. No, the country existed, and it was the structures in place that facilitated him being able to be in the position that he is. So he's not pursuing anything. So that statement really irritates me actually, but then of course it shows the arrogance of ignorance at play. We continue and we take it from the top again. Democracy the world over, and as I am pursuing in Nigeria, recognizes the power of the people. However, so we have to pause it there again. He of course doesn't recognize the power of the people, absolutely not, but then of course I won't labor that. I think I've made that point. However, if some constituencies choose to bargain off their power, they should be prepared for denial of their rights. So that denial of rights, of course, is really speaking to people who sell off their votes. And then, of course, if you sell off your votes, then you can't then have any claims that or complaints against bad governance because you did not participate in anything that would facilitate good governance. This call is made more urgent if we realize that even after a transparent, free, fair, and credible election, desperation leads to compromising the judiciary to upturn legitimate decisions of the people. So again, speaking to the man in the mirror, but let's just round it off because my voice is starting to crackle. He says, it is necessary to, therefore, support the enthronement of the rule of law by avoiding actions which will compromise the judiciary. So, I mean, it's just a laughable, it's like a comedy script. It's a comedy skit, what we've just read. Well, from A to Z, really, it's a joke. And the last paragraph is the biggest joke of all. Therefore, support the enthronement of the rule of law by avoiding actions that will compromise the judiciary. So, the Attorney General of the Federation is an uneducated guy from Uthman Danfodio University who can barely speak English, and his only criteria, of course, is that it's a Fulani man. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, his legal expertise is in Sharia law, and you're talking about not compromising the judiciary. So you see, it's a joke from A to Z, but then, of course, the takeaway really is the denial of Nigerians of their right to expectations or their rights and privileges as citizens of that country. So that right and privilege was taken away a while ago. It was never in full-fledged at any point in time since the creation of the entity called Nigeria, but it has been completely now wiped away to the point that you will get bad governance, but you cannot protest against it because you will get Operation Python dance, or you get a room, if you are lucky, at DSS offices in Abuja. I'm talking about Omoyele Sowore, Kanu, etc. So this is the Nigeria that we have now, but which way out is the question. This is the question we always land on in most of these videos, that what is the way out of this situation that we find ourselves. Conversations in the comment section. I'm having to whisper because my voice is crackling. So conversations in the comment section. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then your rights have been taken away by the Malami. How do you get it back? Come tell me all about it in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.